Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Tap Talk Live here in Malta. This is Tap Talk 8, and tonight we're going to be discussing or having a look at the EcoPro or EcoPro Compact. So we're going to be looking at this, which is the EcoPro, and this, which is the EcoPro Compact, and looking at what is the difference and which is the best for you and how you can tell that. So the first thing really we're going to look at is the fact that both of these filters have a 5-stage filtration process, both of them. So inside both of these is a filter like this. One is a big one like this, and one is a smaller filter like this. But they both have 5 stages in them. And those stages are, first of all, this outside polypropylene layer, which takes out some of the larger bits and also protects the filter inside. They both have an activated carbon block inside, which is like this. And this activated carbon block, it does 2 types of filtration, both the adsorption, which means that contaminants stick to the side of the filter. And also it's a membrane, which is 2 microns thick, so things are passing through or not passing through if they're bigger than 2 microns. So they both have that. So that's 3 layers of filtration. And also you have the metal filter at the bottom. This is like a sort of gross filter, which takes out larger items such as Gebler and things like that. And then finally, you've got what you can hear here. That's called PSS, which is a proprietary tap water component that deals with the lime scale. And what it actually does is it inhibits the lime scale. So like I normally do, I forgot to say that please do let me know you're here. Type in the comments and say hi. And also, if you've got any questions, just type them in the comments. You can do that if you're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and on YouTube as well, which is we live stream simultaneously to all of those channels. So the second thing is, well, what actually gets filtered out? So because these filters both have the same type of filter, the 5-stage filtration in it, then they both filter out exactly the same things. So first of all, lime and chlorine. Lime scale's inhibited, and chlorine, which is really responsible for the bad taste of the water in Malta, as well as some other things depending on the area. THMs, that's a very long chemical word, which really means it's a component that is a reaction between chlorine and other particles in the water. It's just something that happens because we have chlorine in the water, and in any country that they have chlorine in the water, where chlorination is part of the process, which it is in most countries, THMs get formed, and you don't want to be drinking these. These have been linked to certain types of cancer, and these are filtered out using an activated carbon block such as this, as are PFSAs, which are chemicals, HAAs, which is another type of THM, it's a chlorine byproduct. And very interesting, microplastics, they get filtered out because microplastics are larger than 2 microns. So you've got the adsorption, the porosity of the filter as things pass through. 2 microns means that microplastics are being blocked. In fact, latest research says that we are ingesting about 5 grams of microplastics a week, and 5 grams is about the size of a credit card. So you don't really want to be ingesting that. It's already in our food system, in our water system. It's in tap water. It's pretty obviously in plastic bottles, and there've been plenty of studies done on that because plastic bottles are made of plastic. So you'd expect bits of plastic to be in the water. So you're also filtering out sand, rust, sediment, lead, heavy metals, mercury, salmonella, legionella, bacteria as well, pesticides, herbicides, any kind of drug residues and stuff like that, and also importantly for Malta, the nitrates. So both of these filters filter out over 100 different types of contaminants, and that's been independently tested, and the results of the test are on our website. So what else? Yes, both of them means that healthy minerals are left in. So that's another important thing. Healthy minerals are left in. That's not the same with some other filtration devices, such as reverse osmosis, for instance. Reverse osmosis strips everything out of the water, and then some systems put the minerals back in. Well, this system just doesn't remove them in the first place. So the things that you need in your water, like potassium, magnesium, sodium, and all things, that's all left in. We mentioned microplastics before. Microplastics are filtered. And both of these filters are convenient. They both attach to your tap, your kitchen tap. So all you have to do when you want filtered water is flick the switch and filtered water comes out here, or leave the switch and you can wash your plates in hot or cold water coming out of here. That's exactly the same with this. This is the smaller one, the compact. The filtration switch is exactly the same. You've got filtered water out of here and you've got non-filtered water out of here. Now, this is one of the differences between these two. I've used both, and I've used both for quite a long time. What you'll find is that the water pressure coming out of the compact is a little bit higher than coming out of here, and that is because the filter is bigger. It's bigger in here than it is in here. So therefore, you would expect the loss of pressure, which is very, very slight, but it's definitely, you would find it, you get more pressure out of here. And some people would say too fast. So if you've got a very high pressure in your kitchen, you might want to work with this one. If you've got very, very, very low pressure, you might want to work with this one. Now, what about plastic bottles? Well, both of these are cheaper than plastic bottles by a lot. So that's the one thing to remember. Both of these, no water wastage and no kitchen space lost, because they don't sit on the side of your kitchen and take up space. They don't go underneath. They're just attaching to the tap. No maintenance or technician is another thing. You don't need a maintenance technician for either of these. You do everything yourself. And both of these are absolutely guaranteed as far as taste are concerned. So what that means is you can buy one of these tap water filters, you have it in your home for up to 45 days. And if you don't like it, you get a full refund, and we'll even come and collect it. Okay, why do we do that? Well, 95% of people keep their taps. So frankly, we can do that and we can stand by it quite easily. We don't argue. If you don't like it, it's just the way it is. And 95% of people keep their taps and like it. So let's look at what are the differences between these two. Okay, so the obvious thing is size, and that means that this water filter, the EcoPro, which is the one that I first bought when I found it online in Spain, and I bought it and used it, and then decided to bring them to Malta. This is what I started with. So this runs 1,200 litres. Okay. But you must change it within 3 months. That's very important, so you don't get bacteria building up in your filter. So 1,200 litres for this one. That means a family of 4 people, 5 people is not going to struggle and get to the end of this filter before it's time. Now, it is slightly dependent on the quality of the water that you're coming through. So if you've got really rusty pipes and the filter starts going like this after a couple of months with really rusty pipes. This is actually from Bormla after 3 months, and Bormla is one of the areas which has got quite a lot of rust in the pipes. So the filter's doing a really good job there. That's what it should look like after 3 months, but you really do need to change it. Now, the EcoPro Compact, this one, does 300 litres. And you can sort of see why, because it's smaller. So again, it's 300 litres, but still you can keep it for 3 months. Now, that's a real advantage, for instance, if you are a single person in a household. 300 litres may last you 3 months. So you would only need a box of 6 filters every 18 months, because you'll be changing it every 3 months. These filters come in boxes of 6. And so it would actually cost you less than if you were using this one. So if you're a single person in a household, or if you're a couple, so I live with my partner, we make one of these filters last around 6 weeks. So therefore, me personally, I change it every month. Okay, so I get 12 filters a year. I change it every month, which means it is costing me a little bit more than this one. But I have made it last 6 weeks, but I would say that me and my partner, we wash fruit and vegetables in it. So all our fruit and vegetables, and we go through quite a lot of fruit and vegetables. We wash all of that in filtered water. We also use it for cooking, and we also use it for tea and coffee and for water. And we drink a lot of water. Now, you might find that some couples would make this filter last 2 months quite easily. You just have to experiment. You will know when it's time to change because it won't taste right. It's simple. If you get a timeline that works for you, like every 2 months, like I tried to do more than a month because I wanted to know how long it would last for. I couldn't quite get to 2 months. So I got to 6 weeks. So for me, just change it every month on the first of the month, and it's nice and easy. So that's really the major difference between these two. This is really flexible for couples, for single people. But if you're a family of 3+, you would be changing this filter every month without question. Again, 300 litres or 3 months, 1,200 litres or 3 months. Okay, so that being the major difference, let's have a look at some sustainability things. This was the original design of the EcoPro 2. So this has a reusable casing. So you take the casing out, and in fact, this is what's known as the second model. The first model, you actually threw away the whole of this, and then Tap Water reinvented this, and basically you just throw away this bit, which is the filter, and you keep the refill. Very important. If you do use this one, make sure you keep this seal in the bottom. That's really important because without that, it's not filtering. If you lose it, it won't be filtering properly. So this has got a reusable casing, which obviously over the years that you use it, it considerably cuts down. And originally we used to supply the filters with 4 filters for a year plus a casing. And in fact, the casings are lasting so well that we don't do that anymore. We just supply the 4 filters. And then if people want a casing, then we have them available. Now, this one is more sustainable even still because there's no actual separate casing for the filter. So all you do is replace this bit, and this is the bit you're throwing away. And in fact, there's no plastic in this because this is silicone, which degrades well, and this is PPE, so there's polyprop layer there, but there's no big plastic on the top like you have with this filter, which has got ABS on the top. So there's even less waste, and this is a great invention. Now, Tap Water are a lovely company to work with because they keep reinventing and they keep reiterating the products, which is great. So it's always nice to be able to see what new products are coming in and what's going to be coming next. So the EcoPro Compact, you don't need any casing for the filter refills. So the valve is identical. So this bit here, this is the valve. This is the water filter that attaches to the valve. So this bit is the bit that attaches to your mixer. So now that's the same for both taps, and they're really easy to fit. Normally with a tap like this is a normal, pretty much standard kitchen tap. It's got an aerator in the end, like you would expect, and all you do is remove this aerator. You pop the water filter in. Sorry, you pop the adapter in. Not all taps need an adapter. Probably about 80% do though. Here's an adapter, it's absolutely standard. And then you just screw this one, this valve like this onto the tap, and that's it fitted. So it's pretty easy to fit. Sorry if I held that too low and you missed it. It's pretty easy to fit. Most people can do it themselves. And sometimes you need, different mixers need different adapters. We have about 14 different types of adapters. These are adapters like this. Sometimes you need slightly longer ones if you've got one of those like square mixers. But you just send a photo and I can soon tell you what you need. And some people need help to remove their aerators. So we have things like this, unfortunately plastic, but these are aerator keys. This is a bubbler key. So this is one that just works like this. If you've got an aerator like that one, and that one works as a key like that. So both of those would be a help if you needed it. Okay, so the housing is detachable on both of these. This makes it great. This is great news for when you want to change the filter. I changed mine without removing it. I'm just used to doing it. But if you needed to, you could remove it like that and then hold it upside down and change the filter. That sometimes is a help for people. It's really easy to change filters on both of these. So I was just looking to see if there were any questions. Do ask questions if you've got some questions, or just let me know you're here, which is nice. Thank you. I can see we've got some people online tonight, so do say hi. So it's really easy to change the filters. And the EcoPro has got these numbers on the top. I don't know whether you can see those like that. Yeah, the camera's just going out of focus, but you can see they've got numbers on top. Now, what those numbers are is it's a manual change. So you just turn this round. And what I've always done is I've always put the number up when I need to change them next. So for instance, 5 is May, and the third dot is the third week of May. Some people put it on when they have just changed the filter. You can do whichever you like. The EcoPro, because you're really changing every month or every other month or every 3 months, there's no markings on there, so it makes it a nice, neat system. So there's no markings, but we also have an app, and you can download the app, and the app will remind you and send you emails. And we also, when you made a purchase on the website, obviously the system will know when you bought filters how long they should last, and you'll get some reminders. We send out reminders once a month. We only send them once. It's all automated, and you'll get reminders that way as well. Most people know when they need to change the filters, so it's never a big issue. So those are the things really which are the differences. Oh, I've got that one detached. So the differences really is the capacity. That's what we're really on about. So the capacity of this one is 1,200 litres or 3 months. So as a families of, let's say, 3+ would be considering this one. Families of 3+ could also consider this one. You would have to change the filter more often. Couples and persons who are single, living alone, this is really useful for you because of the fact that the filters are 49 euros for 6, so that'll last you 18 months, whereas the filters are 69 euros for 4, which would last anybody up to a year. But obviously, for single people and for couples where you're using a filter every 3 months or every other month, this is going to work out more economic. So talking about economy, if you use the code SAVE15, you will save 15% off either starter packs for these and these. These are in stock at the moment. These will be in stock on Friday because the shipment finally arrived in Master Scala, I got told just now. And you can do online ordering at www.tapwater.mt. You can see here, tapwater.mt, you can go straight to the online. If you do the quiz, you'll also get a free ebook sent to you, which is the Tap Water Guide to Water Filters. And there's a quiz online when you go straight to the website. And you can also order by WhatsApp or on the Facebook page, which is Tap Water Malta. And you can do cash on delivery and stuff like that. Now, I've got a question here. Okay, sorry I didn't see this before, Lorraine. I bought it last year, but I can't change the filter. Yeah, that does happen. There's been a few people like that. What happened was, you'll see the design of this is probably different to the one you've got. If you look at the one you've got, it's probably got arrows on the bottom, which is open and close. And that's confused some people, to be honest. So they changed the design of it when they originally started having problems with that. And now the open and close is here. So you take it out and it's nice and easy to open. They also changed the seal slightly, and that made it easy to open. So if you have a problem changing the filter, just send me a message on WhatsApp on this number, Lorraine. Send me a message, 356-998-66142, or go on the Facebook page, or send me an email here, and we will sort that out for you, because otherwise I'll just send you a new casing. If you're having problems removing it from here, which is highly unlikely, I've not had one of those yet, then just let me know, and I'm sure we can sort that out. But if you're having problems just opening the casing, all you need to do is let me know, and I'll just send you a new one, and then you'll be back to not having to use plastic bottles for your drinking water. Great. So any other questions? Thank you, Lorraine, for asking that. I really appreciate the questions. Are there any other questions? I try and keep these to around 21 minutes or 20 minutes, and we're at 21:22 at the moment. So I really want to thank you for joining us. I can see there's been a few people online, and we've had one question, which is great. We're here every Wednesday at 7:30. Hopefully to see you again. Next week, there'll be a different subject. And in the meantime, thank you very much for coming, and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.